you were blind, but now you can see that.
Dr. Obi is the only presidential candidate who was so militant. No campaign secretariat, no billboard, not even posters.
Yeah, you see, because it is when you are dumped that you can clearly see that your ex was not serious about your relationship. No billboards and posters of both of you on Instagram, But never mind, they found someone, unlike Antiobi. Yes. And this someone has his own testimony to share.
The security agencies have since then traced other suspicious transactions running into millions of dollars to the CJN's personal accounts, all undeclared or improperly declared as required by law.
On a totally unrelated note, isn't it interesting that people who like to keep their medical vacations and the cost of those vacations private, you know what I mean? Like what happens in London stays in London, like a Sophia in London. Yeah, so isn't it interesting that these are the people who are passionate about other people's undeclared matters, especially at quarter to election. And funny enough, with the gandolaristic matters, that passion is nowhere to be found, though. People shy. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. It be like, say, we the people get testimony too. For instance, once we were blind, but now we can see that quarter to election or not, the rule of law is still the rule of law.
The CJN is a lawyer, first and foremost a lawyer. He knows that he has complied with the law. Now, what is he stepping aside for? The president has been accused of several infractions of the law. Why didn't he step aside?
Oh, Mr. President, do you have something else to say?
No one must be or be seen to be above the law.
I couldn't have said it any better. I salute you, sir. Yes. Also, once we were blind, but now we can see that in a country like Nigeria, where candidates and parties are still doing Fuji House of Commotion with their political ideologies, decamping, dumping, and disowning. Yes, we the people can now see that not be by force to carry confused politics and politicians for head. No, we must choose the best candidates for Nigeria. Shikena. So we go shine our eyes well. The international community, they shine torchlight on the 2019 elections. And the people that went to do business with them before are telling them now to mind their business. Don't be so. Anyway, but still, our own not to shine our eye into 2019 elections. And even after, because it is not on our watch that Nigeria, the Nigeria that we love, will become something unbecoming. No. The time is quarter to election. God, help us. In the spirit of quarter to election, campaigns give our leaders and aspiring leaders the opportunity to talk deeply and strategically about issues that matter most to all of us.
PDP is out of this calculation as far as I'm concerned. I don't think Nigerians, even in their moment, are ever depressed in my field. Nobody, PDP is just not an option.
This one where they now, he don't understand anything. Anything where he asks him, he says no. Are we going to continue with someone where no? Make him come out, let people know, come.
They have nothing to tell Nigerians except they try to impugn the integrity of Mr. President. And I tell them it's a losing battle.
You can see our president dancing with a lot of energy. They don't have that energy.
Our country got a recycling plant for an inspiring old man with old ideas. We deserve better than their aggressive mediocrity. The APC-PDP is a single party, fielding one single candidate. And that candidate's name is Butiku.
Worst case scenario, if it is not resolved before June 2019, when there is a new National Assembly, it will be represented. I'm confident that those in the National Assembly then will have more sense than the people we now have there.
Tony, ill obey means I don't do bad. And if I once you have joined APC, all your sins are forgiven.
And I'm also not going to enrich members of my family, but my friends. Are my friends not entitled to be enriched?
Yes, deeply important stuff. But on a more serious note, campaigns need to focus and tackle issues we all care about. So candidates, let's stop the mudslinging and make Nigeria the dream we all want it to be, so that things like this will not be the highlight of campaign season. My guest tonight has been a student demonstrator, a journalist, and activist. He's also the presidential candidate for the African Action Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, Omoyele Sowore is in the building! You're welcome.
Thank you so much. You didn't add that
Wow.
I'm also a fisherman.
Yes. You can always add that.
Yes.
At least they've heard you now.
Yes.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you once said that you don't want to join, you don't want to pollute your ideology by joining the coalition or third force. What is your ideology?
Ideology is very welfareistic. That is, I'm for the welfare, total welfare of the Nigerian people. Because for 58 years, with a borrow ideology from other people. There was a time we were trying to mix socialism with communism. Then we went in a direction of capitalism. But we never practiced any of those things because we don't have people who can operate in the interest of our people.
Okay.
So to now go and join coalition when I already have a coalition of the oppressed in our political party, the coalition of the unemployed, coalition of the abandoned, the coalition of people who have been cheated. There's no need searching for other coalition of people who may not share the core beliefs of our own political party and movement. That was what made me say that.
Okay, we'll leave it for you like that.
Yes.
We'll leave it for you like that. Coincidentally, the 16th of February, which is the election date, is also your birthday.
That's right, that's right.
So are we celebrating at the polling booth or are we going to celebrate somewhere else? Where's the party at?
Is that this time around, the celebration will be different. Okay. I'll be taking gifts in form of electoral votes across the country.
That makes sense.
Yes, you don't have to go to the store. You just have to bring your PVC. That's all.
So whatever goodwill that you have, that they have for you,
yes,
let it be in the form of the vote.
They should come with the good and also the will.
Now, you said that for a reason.
Yes.
You said that you separated the good from the will for a reason.
Yes.
Because we know that everybody who goes into politics
they claim that they have good.
They have goodwill.
Will, yes.
They have
but when they get into office,
what happens?
There is only the good left. There's no will to do good.
Wow.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Yes.
Okay. What makes Sowore different from every other presidential aspirant? What makes you different?
I'll go back to the issue of will.
Okay.
That of all the presidential aspirants, over the years, 30 years in my own is the case, I've demonstrated strong will to do what is right. Starting from the University of Lagos when I was a student union activist. After I left there, I went and became a journalist. After, with journalism, I was also a university lecturer, part-time lecturer in the US for 8 years. And I have been in front of every demonstration that has forced anybody to do good in this country, starting from driving the military out of office. When they brought third term, now we demonstrate against them. When the Yaradua Kabal started, we're the ones who demonstrated against it. 2012, we did demonstration against the subsidy scams that was going on in the country. Demonstration in support of free and fair election. It has always been like that. That's why I say, we need somebody that has verifiable records, history, integrity, character.
So track record of activism.
Yes.
Should it be a criteria?
No, it's more than activism, but there's also a track record of being a teacher.
Okay.
You know, there's also a track record of being a journalist, even though I wasn't trained as a journalist. There's a track record of being an entrepreneur. I started a media company from nothing, and it became a global media platform in Sahara Reporters. Yeah, I don't want to make that one begin fair.
All right, people, please don't go anywhere because we are just starting this interview. And somewhere in the corner, Binta Badmos is planning something special. Don't go anywhere is the other news, and we'll be right back. They promise change, and after a while, you begin to see change in the promise. Are we sure that if you become president, we won't be hearing things like, we met it like that. It is the way it's done. Yeah. The cabal is responsible. That is how we met it.
No, first I want to correct the impression and the use of the word if. I want you to change it to when.
Okay, when.
So, no, it won't be like that because most of the leaders we have had in the past, they don't prepare in reality for office. Otherwise, we would have had some of the best leaders having had experiences as president before. Some of them have done it twice. This is the only country in the world where when you fail, you're allowed to repeat again and you still fail and you still be making noise. But in our own case, we've done our homework. And not only doing the homework, we have publicized what we want to do. We have what we call Spicer Hit. We have documents that are downloadable so that people can interrogate and query it and tell us if these things will not work. Nobody has come back to say that. So we will not have a situation where we're saying, well, if we knew, because no godfather is sponsoring us. And the moment you remove godfathers from the equation of politics in Nigeria, you have a godson, and they will be doing the will of God. All right?
I mean, that sounds very interesting.
Yes,
that sounds very, very, very interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Those who are staunchly in support of the present administration say they are satisfied with how he is fighting corruption. That is, I think, one of their main reasons. They say there's integrity and they're satisfied with. What is your take on it?
No, it's, even the man himself says that he's not satisfied with the way he's fighting corruption. That is why they are doing last-minute fight of corruption. So if you want to talk about who fights corruption in Nigeria between the person sitting in front of you and the man who is going out very soon, I have done it without any incentive and done it better than any one of them. On NTA, when I was interviewing the candidates, I made mention of the fact that, so 2.5 years ago, this battle about Chief Justice of Nigeria, we had already published that the man has questionable wealth. And they wrote a rejoinder to deny that there's nothing like that, that they've looked at his record, the man is squeaky clean. But when it is now politically convenient and expedient, suddenly they go and brought the file out. So you know that they are not fighting corruption, they are using corruption to fight others.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Now, there's this notion that people say you're doing this for popularity and for money, that you're just a rabble-rouser.
You know, people are entitled to their opinion. You know, one part of my life over these years is that I've worked very hard to promote freedom of speech. Yeah? And the aspect that is not there is the freedom after speech. And when I become president, everybody will have freedom of speech and freedom after speech. So those who are saying that I'm a rabble-rouser will still have their freedom intact.
Okay.
But I'm not. They know that if I was, I would probably not be sitting in front of you. Seriously.
Everybody wants to solve Nigeria's problem.
Yes.
If you have the chance, or when we give you the chance to, let me change it.
Yeah,
when we give you the chance to, what is that one problem that you think that if you fix it, things will begin to take shape?
It's not one, I must tell you.
Like, just,
it's more than one.
If you had a one-point agenda, what would it be?
If I choose, it would be electricity. You know, I would light up every corner of this country, put 40 million homes on the national grid, or whichever grid we have, because national grid is not a way to describe grid. National grid in Nigeria is a grid that promotes darkness. So we have to be very careful how we use some of these terminologies. But yes, electricity will be a major priority. But following that will also be security, infrastructure, fighting corruption, of course, not the way they are fighting it, you know, because we have to plug the loopholes so that we have enough. And, you know, one area that I always talk about is also ensuring that there's proper distribution of wealth. because our problem is not wealth creation. We have proven over the years that Nigeria can create wealth, even natural wealth that came to us by default. But we haven't been able to distribute wealth appropriately. Yes, in a just and fair manner. And that's why we are where we are today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sowore, for your time.
Thank you for bringing me on your show.
Please, a round of applause, a round of applause. It's still the other news. Don't go anywhere. This show continues. Nigeria is a nation that has more than its fair share of issues. Here to analyze one of these issues is our senior analysis correspondent, Binta Badmus. Binta, what do you have for us?
Today, I am here to talk about red card.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
Do not interrupt me, okay? I have blocked you in the past. Don't make me send you off in the present. Red card is known all over the world for its various meanings and interpretations. You can be given a red card in a field of play if you are playing too rough. The government can also be red-carded if you believe their ways are becoming too wayward.
Who do you know that gave government red card?
Anti-Obi, of course. Also, INEC gives red card. That is, if you want to red card a political process, INEC will help you to red card the red card.
Who did INEC give red card?
Anti-Obi, of course. She wanted to leave the presidential field of play. INEC did not agree, thereby red carding a red card. But you see, my favorite red card scenario is the one FIFA recently gave to a Nigerian referee, Ibrahim Shaibu. He was banned for life and also fined $226,000. That's about 81,360,000 naira, if you don't know. You see, he was given a permanent red card. But he was also made to pay some green cards, which could have been his last card.
Wow.
That's a terrible thing, like the worst thing to have ever happened to a referee.
I don't think that's the worst thing to have ever happened to a referee. What of the kind of beating some referees receive in the local league here?
Okay, that was terrible. But unless you kill me, there's no beating worth $260,000 US. Last, you use $50,000 US to do checkup in UK with Boo-Boo, and use the rest to chop life.
Anyway, you have a point there, I think.
You see, maybe we should start taking life the way FIFA takes football. We can take that red card rule and apply it in different parts of our lives. If you are in a relationship and your partner plays a away match, you give him a permanent red card. Him or her, yes. If your oga is overstressing your life, you give him a permanent red card too. And if you're corrupt, political and judicial officers are confirmed to be corrupt, you also give them a permanent red card.
I hope that red card was not for me.
It is for to whom it may concern. See, we need to start giving our public office holders red card early enough in their careers, before they reach high position or even status or a supreme level. That way, when you want to send them off, it is only the wife and the children that will come and beg for them.
So basically, you're saying we should be giving red card at the grassroots level?
Yes. That way, That way, all those who are found to be corrupt will be able to weed out the corrupt officials from the good crops. I hope you're following me.
Yeah.
Okay. For instance, someone on this show, I once blocked him. I also gave him a red card. But he has refused to go. That is because he's in high position. You know?
Binta.
High position. So, anyways, you know, as they say, you can now see that the man is high on power. And like they always say, a word is enough for the wise.
I don't know what kind of accusations you're making, but I think your segment is over now. Thank you very much.
It's obvious that you're high on power.
Thank you.
My word is enough.
Yes, it's enough. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that was our show for today. It's been amazing hanging out with you. Let's hang out some more. Call the numbers on your screen to be part of our live studio audience. Check out our social media pages. Our handles remain the Other News CTV across all platforms. Our people say, best way we are white, no they follow sharp. Until next time, my name is Okey. Don't stain your whites. And Binta, you have to be careful. You have to be